Hi, and welcome back to another Player 1 Fallout 76 video. This is the last in a 4-part series on how you can craft your own adhesive to repair your weapons and armor for free forever. In this series, I showed you my indoor garden filled with vegetables we used to craft vegetable starch. Then I showed you where to find the plants we need and the fertilizer needed to plant them. Then we planted a little garden, and in my last video I promised to show you the last thing you need, a small water purifier, and today we're going to get one. Please subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you find this helpful, and hit the little bell so you don't miss out on future informative videos. Now then, you're probably wondering why we're starting in Vault 76. Well, I wanted a totally clean slate to start with, so when I do get the purifier, there's no question about where it came from. So I started a new character to run and go get it, and actually did it a couple of times just to be sure. So I'll put the clearest clips in this video for you. I'm headed for Flatwoods, so while I'm speeding through the forest, let's talk a second about the 3 different kinds of water. Dirty, boiled, and purified. Dirty water is from streams and water pumps. You don't drink it unless you're desperate. It gives you lots of rads and possibly disease. You collect it and boil it, which makes it safer. Cooking 2 dirty waters gives you 1 boiled water, which has fewer rads and satisfies your thirst. It doesn't give you disease, and it's also used for soup making. The best is purified water, which is rad-free and satisfies your thirst the best. But most importantly, it's used in crafting recipes like adhesive, which is crafted as vegetable starch, and it's also used for diluting your chems. You can occasionally find it when you're out scavenging in various containers. Sometimes you get it as a reward for finishing a quest, and some vendors will have it for sale, but it's too expensive for us newbies. So the best way of obtaining some on a regular basis without breaking the bank is to produce it yourself. You'll just need, first, a small water purifier. This kind can be placed on dirt anywhere. They produce 2 purified waters every 5 or 6 minutes. The larger ones make more, but they have to be built on water. The water sits there in the machine till you take it. Then it begins making more. So be sure to collect it frequently when you're back at your camp. I store them away in my stash till I have a few. Then I cook up a whole bunch of adhesive at one time. Now, in addition to being able to build your small water purifier, you're also going to need the materials for building it, and a camp location to build it in, and generators to power it, and the materials to build them also. But we're going to get all of that today, so not to worry. So, how exactly do we get the plans for the small water purifier? I know of 2 ways to get them. Option 1 is to go to Charleston, to the Department of Motor Vehicles. Inside the DMV building, you turn left, and you can get the plans from the overseers stashed there. Sometimes it's a dangerous journey for brand new players, so I go with option 2, which is much simpler. Option 2 is we claim a workshop. I did this with a level 3 character twice, so I know which to do. Workshop claiming starts 2 quests, one after the other. The first is claim the workshop, and the second is defend the workshop. To claim a workshop, you need to clear out all the enemies loitering around there. Just store all your junk in your stash box before you start, so it's no biggie if you get killed. I speak from experience, as you'll see. Then you enter the workshop and kill everything that comes after you. The game will give you little yellow light markers where any remaining enemies are, and will tell you when they're all dead, and at that time you're allowed to claim the workshop. Before I continue with the workshop, I should tell you, now you see that I'm entering the town of Flatwoods, and I'm starting to do some scavenging. The workshop is going to cost 25 caps, so I plan on selling all of the junk I collect at the church. There's a vendor in the church, and he will pay at least 1 cap for every bit of everything you can find. If it's a burnt book or an empty bottle, you get at least 1 cap. So I'm going to sell enough to get that workshop. Okay, back to claiming the workshop. Now you can return to the workbench, and soon as you hit the claim button and pay your caps, the plans for a small water purifier are immediately unlocked in your build menu. You can go outside of the workshop and open the build menu and look underwater, and there it is, all unlocked. As of this moment, you have the ability to build your water purifier. Additionally, you'll find the small and medium-sized generators are now also unlocked, so you'll be able to power your water purifier. You're now good to go. To double check that you can now build them, open your camp menu and scroll over to water. Notice that there will be locks on the pictures of the big purifiers, but there's no lock anymore on the small purifier's picture. Check also the generators, and you'll see the locks have been removed from those also. All unlocked and ready to go. Now you have to decide what to do about the workshop. The second quest, Defend the Workshop, will begin, and new monsters will try to enter the workshop, kill you, and take it over. If you choose, you can stay and build defenses and fight, and if you successfully defend it, you not only get a quest reward, but also any goods your factory will have produced. However, as to the workshop, you don't have to stay and defend it if you're only interested in the plans for now. You can just go home and build your purifier. Or you can stay and fight, of course. For this video, I'm going to pretend you chose to go home. Oh, and one other thing, and that's part of why I told you to store all of your junk in your stash box before you begin. When you claim a workshop, another player can come and try to take it away from you. That can initiate PvP, and the attacker can kill you and take the workshop. No biggie at this point, since it's not the workshop you came for, and you don't lose any junk because it's all stored away. Then I picked up and stored everything I had built there, and then I fast traveled back to my house and logged out. Then when I came back in, I was on another server, and there the workshop was not claimed by anybody, so there were no human enemies after me. So I immediately proceeded to build my new machines. Well, that describes how you go about claiming a workshop and getting your small water purifier unlocked so you can build it. The same for your small and medium-sized generators. Now we're in the last stretch, and we should be nearing the Sunshine Meadows Industrial Farm. And that's the workshop that we're going to claim. So I'm going to mention just one more thing to you, and then I'll just give you a rundown as we near the factory. Altogether, for the purifier And both generators, you're going to need to, as far as the materials to build, you're going to need 4 ceramic, 9 copper, 4 oil, 9 rubber, 7 screws, 24 steel, and 5 gears. Now, all of that is easy enough to find. You can probably find all of that stuff right there in Flatwoods with just a little bit of scavenging. All right, we have arrived. That's our destination, and what we're going to do is go right over here across the street in this little flat area, and I'm going to set up camp because I want to verify that the small water purifier and the generators are locked. They're still locked. So let's see. Yep, you can see that small water purifier is still locked. You can see the orange lock on it. Let's go back to the generators. All right, the medium generator is still locked. The small one is unlocked. You can see they have different symbols on them, but it can't be built yet because I have no materials to build anything. I sold everything at the vendor. Okay, let's get this party started. Go, go, go. This is not a very difficult workshop to acquire. Here we are. This was funny. This is like how to do it all wrong. You don't just barge in and then have the whole community jump you. Oh. Come on, you can do it. Okay. The next day, I made the new character, and I came back in. And it's like you improve one thing and something else gets worse. I found that if you can get them to line up, you can attack them just one at a time. The bad thing is you can't see behind you. I should have put my armor on. Run, little Vaultling, run! Oh, what? Bandage on. Poor thing. Okay. And there's the worst thing of all. I forgot the hot chemo skin packs. So, in the middle of the fight, I'm trying to find the stim packs. Yeah, I'm always dead. I'm like the queen of the resurrected. Okay. This time we're going to go all the way through and get our workshop planned. I hear footsteps. See, it says the workshop can't be claimed with enemies nearby. And see those little lights, those little yellow lights? Well, that shows where the rest of the enemies are. Come on, wake up. Bad enemies, bad. Let's see if there's any more. Oh, look. She finally found her stim packs. Poor thing. Alright. I'm thinking these are the last couple. Yeah, see, you see that message? Getting rid of the enemy part is complete, and now we can actually claim it. Oh, we are so close to that small water purifier. Pay our money. What's happening? Okay. It's gearing up. Right, now we have claimed our workshop, and this means we have unlocked the small water purifier and the generators we need to power it. Soon the second part of the Claim a Workshop quest will begin, and enemies will come to try to retake the workshop. So a number of structures and defense items are being unlocked as well. And in a minute you'll see some scrolling on the screen. Now we're going out front and we're going to build that small water purifier and the generators and hook them up and verify that everything works. Then we're going to go back to our camp and verify that these can all be built at your house, that all of them are truly unlocked and ready to go. Okay, I've opened the build menu, and sure enough, I can build the water purifier and the generators. Let's get those generators on the ground. A medium one and a small one. Fantastic. You see how they're not locked anymore? Now, to hook up the wires, on the screen you go to, you highlight the generator, and you will see at the bottom of the screen a little triangle, and it says attach wire. So you just click that and lead the wire over to the next connector. And then you do it again and lead the new wire to the next connector. Listen to the sound of that machine cranking out purified water. That's what we came for. And now the second part of the Claim a Workshop event is beginning. So we're just going to leave. If you wanted to stay, you could always stay and continue the event. But for now, let's go check out the water purifier. I'm doing all of this running, but I forgot that I could have just fast traveled back to my camp. I'll tell you about that in a minute, but first let's make sure that everything is unlocked and we are good to go. Okay, let's open our build menu. And yes, indeed, you can see both the small and the medium generators are unlocked. They could be built now if I had any materials, but I sold everything. And here's our water purifier. and it's not locked. So we are good to go. And let's go back to travel between the workshop and your camp. When you have claimed a workshop, you can fast travel for free between your camp and workshop. That way you can go off hunting and periodically return to your workshop to pick up the goods that your factory and extractors have produced. And you stash it all away and go back to hunting. The game will let you know if your workshop is ever in danger, and you can either return and defend it or just let it go. Your claim to the workshop ends when you log out, so you'll be free and clear. Well, this completes my 4-part series on how you can craft your own adhesive to repair your weapons and armor for free forever. We learned how to craft the vegetable starch that becomes adhesive when you scrap it, and we found the plants and fertilizer we needed. We planted a garden and now have the water purifier to give us purified water for free. So please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you found this series helpful, and hit the little bell so you don't miss out on the future videos I have planned. See you then.